Welcome to an extra frustrated version of Meathhead rants because I spent like fucking hours editing a video. It's like the video itself is like 2 hours long and it won't fucking export. I've tried making it smaller. I've tried going through all the different like fixes. I tried cutting the video in half and then exporting them separately and then combining them. And then it didn't even export like half of the video. So I'm fucking frustrated for real. But yeah, so we making this, uh, and it's just gonna be off of a bunch of random topics on my phone. I haven't thought of shit. So, first up, we got fucking Severed Steel. It's this indie shit that I've been playing. That shit's so good. It's super fast paced, fucking parkour. You're like kicking off walls and shooting motherfuckers. I'll put a clip in like here or some shit. It's so fucking cool, bro. Like it's Mirror's Edge with guns, right? But it's sick as fuck. And like I know that Mirror's Edge has guns, but like it's not the focus. This game is like an action game primarily before like a 3D platformer, whereas Mirror's Edge is a 3D platformer. Fuck, dude, I can't get that export out of my head. It's pissing me off. Uh, let's see. There was the fucking Scott Pilgrim anime. That shit was really good. I appreciate them like going in an entirely new direction. My mother's always be copying source material exactly. It's cool to see some variation. And like the depth they gave to all the characters beyond them just being like vegan boyfriend, ninja girlfriend, actor boyfriend who skates. Like it's cool that they have characters. And shout out young Neil. Uh it was not Ramona. Sleep paralysis demon. Demon. And I might have mentioned this before, but you can say Gen Z is paranoid, but like Rizzler, Ohio, Gia, and Skibbity are all military vessels. So, I'm not saying we're not getting psyoped. I'm just saying Gen Alpha is a lot easier to psyop. This is my dog. Her name is Beatrice. She's the only person in the world that will ever hear my music. I don't get why people like dick ride politicians. Regardless of your like political standing, you can like admit that like objectively, every president we've ever had is like an awful person and has done like super villain equivalent shit. So like these people are gonna fuck you. So why the fuck are you like they're geniuses, they're so smart, they're this, they're that. They're fucking dinosaurs making terrible decisions. They always have been, dog. Like it was just that 40 was a lot older than it is now because now we have modern medicine and people are living a lot longer. Back when like presidents were like 40 something, it's because they were dying a lot younger. I was gonna say a number, but I don't have the number pulled up exactly, and I don't want to make up some fake shit. Like actively, the longer I live, the more I just want to like live by myself in the woods, uh, with my girl, and never interact with society. And like, I'm not saying I'll never have technology again, right? But I'm not going to be online and you're like, how do you do both? It's pretty easy now, unless you're in like Alaska or some really like extreme behaviors, like or climates, not behaviors. Right? It's pretty easy to make your own generators and like supply your own energy at this point in time. It's like, yeah, it's an investment, but if you're going to be like living off the land, it's a one-time investment. You feel me? Like you're not going to be paying after you've got the land, you've got the thing, you've got your thing set up. You know what I mean? And while I probably should not be talking about this while dressed like this, I don't really care because I don't need to, but I want to upload this week and fuck it. I didn't say anything illegal, right? I didn't make any threats or nothing. I just like the idea of living in the woods. I finished the series called Akuma Kun, right? And it was a good show. It's got like kind of Soul Eater vibe, but it's much more of like a thriller, kind of a mystery. I don't know if I'd qualify it fully, but it's more of a thriller than like an action thing. But it's like it's dark, but it's not super serious in like the Soul Eater way. And I enjoyed it in a similar fashion. What the fuck am I doing with my pinky behind this, bro? This shit's fully extended underneath. Like, why? This shit, like, no, actually, because like, it doesn't make anything. Because this, I'm holding it doing this. Even if I wanted to hold it like this, I could turn it. Why the fuck am I like drinking tea with the shits? I, I don't know. Maybe it's the autism, but I really like this vape. Like, it's just got like really cool lights and shit. This one's got a rocket, right? And this one, shit, it has the four that like spin when you hit it, and then you turn it off, and it goes like fully. And it's like the same as it's the same as like a Funky Republic. Uh, I'm not intelligent enough to know whether it's like better or worse than them. I just like the lights. You know, one of the things that like pisses me off, right, is especially in my like my hobbies, right, like music, movies, uh, like video games, not so much like MMA or whatever, but you get the idea. Motherfuckers is always like, man, this period of time was better. This period, it's like, if we're obviously as a time we're living in, it's pretty shit. But if we're talking about like music, games, just media in general, this is the best time to like be in because we have access to everything, and the quantity of things coming out, meaning that there is something for you. You can think mainstream, like mainstream, like let's talk about music, right? You can think mainstream hip hop isn't as good as old rap, right? Which is subjective. It's not objective. It really just depends on which you prefer. Um, but even if you like the old boom bap shit, there is old boom bap shit, right? Even if you like rock is mainly pop punk in the mainstream, sure, but you can find hardcore punk, you can find metal, you can find normal punk, like you can find old school pop punk, right? Like 90s Green Day type shit. Uh Same thing with like video games. We are getting some of like the most groundbreaking video games that come out like recently. Baldur's Gate with its sheer like free like freedom of gameplay. Street Fighter 6 like really brought in a new era of fighting games. I prefer MK1, but Street Fighter 6 was the first like big one to release in my opinion, with like a comprehensive single player mode, a good amount of content, as well as a really good training mode and phenomenal online, right? But at the same time, if you prefer Street Fighter 3, you can go emulate it, or if you want to do it legally, right? You can buy the anniversary collection and play 3 on that, right? Like there's just like this inherent bias, I feel like, towards older works, and it's fucking frustrating, bro. And like my friends have like that same shit where like older music is good. Well, my white friends do. Uh and it's fucking annoying to have to like defend modern music to every time the topic gets brought up. I started working on a new clothing piece for the first time in a while. It's not typically what I wear, but I fuck with it. It's cool. It's got like a bunch of sugar skulls and shit around it. It's not done yet, right? The back is really barren, and there's only like Roshi. Fuck, I'm really running out of top. And you might say, "Oh, but your last video's even shorter. Does that mean you had no ideas then?" Absolutely. I just sort of forced myself to make it because I was things that like kicked me into gear recently. Even though I've only really played Control, I really fuck with the Remedy connected universe with Alan Wake, Control, and Quantum Break, right? I think that whole storyline is really sick. Yes, they can't say Quantum Break outright because it's a Microsoft game, but it's like very heavily hinted at. And I just think it's really sick. I like seeing like the Alan Wake DLC in Control, give it in like Control, giving a better, more like scientific explanation of what happened in Alan Wake, with how it's like an object of power and him being locked up, and then that town being investigated by the Bureau. It's so fucking sick. Quantum Break being another part in that universe, like another Spec Ops group in that universe, not Spec Ops, but like FBI type group in that universe is dope as fuck. And I'm really excited to see what they do with it as the years continue. We're just in the beginning. We've just now hit the 4th game in the universe, which is fucking Alan Wake 2. It was sick. I don't really have nothing else to talk about. So it's been real. It's been fun. Hasn't been real fun. Fuck you.
It took me 10 years to find the answers I'll play. I forgot about it in 2 seconds.